Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are on a super flat world, and first off, I just want to say thank you so much for the love. Like, I just posted that other video of my thank you 50 subscribers, and I actually gained about 10, or I think it was like 9 or something, subs from that, so that was really nice to see. Thank you so much, and I'm glad you enjoyed it all. Anyway, today, you can see behind me, we have a lot of blocks. We're going to be playing with gradients today. I don't know a whole lot about gradients, and like I know enough about it, but mostly just simple ones. So I've done a bit of testing for some gradients, and I also took the liberty of placing every single block in their like respective color palettes. Some of them may look a little bit not like they should be there, but I put them there for reasons. I'm pretty happy with how I've done for it. Obviously, most of this is creative gradients because a lot of the blocks that you can use aren't really accessible for survival, like right there, which is the block of netherite. But yeah, there's also a few blocks like TNT that don't seem very usable, and some that are only usable from a floor perspective or a wall perspective. So yeah, we've got like a whole bunch of blocks here that I put all in the color order, and ones that I think are plausible to be able to use at least in creative. And yeah, we're gonna play with some gradients. I know enough about gradients, and I've done a little bit of practice already. So here was one of the practices I did, which I wanted to go from green to white. And as you can see, for gradients, they look a lot better from afar, or when you're coming up to it. And even on a build, they look a lot better. From close up, they look a little bit strange, but I was pretty happy with how this gradient went. It had to go down to yellow and then to white before it could go all the way to white. I'm very happy with this start of the gradient from about here, I think. Downwards, it gets a little bit strange with the yellow, but I think it was the best that I could do, and I'm not mad at what I've done here. Anyway, we're going to play with some gradients more because I am looking for a gradient. I want it to go from dark blue to white. So that's what we are going to be focusing on. And oh, just took a screenshot. And yeah, so we want to go from like a dark blue, but I'm thinking more of this blue, which is terracotta. There we go. We'll grab that as well because that could be useful. And yeah, what I recommend for anybody that wants to play with gradients is to do something like this. So put all of the blocks here because it's really helpful if I'm like, what's the closest to this block? I can go around and place it next to it and go, oh, that's not very close, oh, kind of close, oh, pretty close. But yeah, it's a lot nicer, in my opinion. But I'm realizing now the blue terracotta is very purple, so I might start with the light blue. Or maybe, the other thing I need to think about is that I want to do slabs, and I don't think I've picked anything that I can do slabs for. It's also given me a big realization of the color palette varieties. But pink we don't have a lot of. Purple we have some, but it's very weird. Red we don't have as much as I thought we did. And yeah, brown obviously we have loads of brown. Even orange we have quite a lot, and green and yellow. But when it comes to like pink, purple, and then the cyan as well, we don't have loads. Let's see. Unless I wanted to pivot my idea and not do blue, maybe move to more cyan. Okay, let's try more cyan, and that's just because we can use copper as the end block. Let's have a look. We want waxed. We'll grab both of those. And we can also use, what is it, warped wood. Okay, so this one will be the start of it, and I think warped planks is the darkest. Yeah, the darkest I'll start for. And basically what I do is you want to have like a bit where the gradient's kind of creeping in, not have it fully flat. If it's fully flat, it doesn't look quite right. We're getting somewhere. Oh, I should have put dark prismarine actually. Never mind. That should be at the front, at the top, I think. Okay, change our design a little bit. Okay, it's not bad, but maybe that warped block might make it a little bit nicer of a transition. I feel like it's a little bit lighter. Yeah, and then it's got little specks in it that could help it. A little bit of a transitionary one here. Not bad. There still could be another one in between, I feel. I just don't know what. We'll leave it at that. And we'll go for prismarine now because I think that's pretty good. Both types of prismarine. Should we go that first or this first? And then into this. And has anybody noticed that this cut, like, it changes color, I think? Because it goes from really, really green and, like, that fits with it. See, look, it goes green and then it goes to, like, purple. It does change color. It has to. Otherwise, I'm going insane. I'm going absolutely mad. But we'll keep with that. And then maybe speckle some diamond ore, but not loads, just a little bit. Maybe we'll move over to some grey, right? I think so. I think this is nice. Adding a little bit more. And then from stone, quite fast into diorite, like polished diorite. So just a little bit of smooth stone. And then pretty fast into diorite. Okay, it's gradient. It's gradienting. The gradient is gradienting. And then maybe into calcite, I think. Yeah, I think into calcite. Okay. Calcite, and then calcite can probably go straight into, I think it can go into quartz, into smooth quartz. Let's try it. Yeah, that's fine. That looks nice. I like it. Okay, so I like this gradient. I think this is a winner. And we had to make so we went from all the cyan, and we had to have like a transitionary color in the middle, which was the gray, and then go into white, which is great. I like this. The ores are definitely very helpful for gradients when you're trying to pull out little bits of colors, little specks, and even to go a bit further, we could help it with a bit of glow lichen, I think. Yeah, to just help it transition a little bit more and feel like, yeah, see, look, that it's so small, but I feel like it does a lot of difference. Yeah, it just like morphs it in a little bit more. Okay, I like this gradient. I think this is one of the gradient that I'm going to use. Let me actually take some screenshots. Okay, just for future buildings. And yeah, so gradients, I think with most Minecraft, or it only being creative, just disclaimer, pretty much every single Minecraft block, I think, can be gradiented into each other. It just, some won't look as nice. These glazed terracotta as well, a lot of people aren't really happy about because of how patterned they are, but for gradients, they're actually really helpful. It's just like the ore blocks. They have little specks, and when you want to, like for this one, if you wanted to go from cyan to orange, this is a really good transitionary block, especially in between copper, because it's just got the same kind of color palette. There's quite a few things that if you just look at the undertones as well, the undertones are very important. Originally, I was trying to make all of these gradient into each other, so all of the colors, and I did it with the green and the yellow, and then it was too much work. I think, oh, I did it with, no, I didn't do it with cyan. Yeah, and then it was just too much work for me to try and gradient it. It just takes a lot of time after I've already placed them all. So that's that gradient, which I think is good. And it's important as well from what I've learnt from my testing, because I also tested on another world. A lot of blocks that you wouldn't normally use, like shulker boxes, make really good gradient tools, but you also have to be very careful when it comes to like too much texturing. You need to have a good mix of very flat blocks and a good mix of textured blocks. If you have too much texture, it doesn't look like a gradient, it just looks weird. If you have too much flat blocks, it looks good. It would look very good as a gradient, but it won't work because you don't have enough of a variety of blocks to help you with that for most colors at the very least. Oh, taking another screenshot. What am I doing? There was also this gilded black stone that I forgot about, and I think that is a really good tool for gradients into gold, I think, and I like that block a lot. Let's try another gradient. Let's do two colors instead of a color into white. Let's do red into yellow, so like a sunset effect, and we'll start with the dark red. So we'll start with the red nether bricks, because that is the darkest one we'll go, and I think I can fit another one. Is that 3? So we'll start with the darkest, the red nether bricks, and then let's go back to our little reference spot and have a look at what we can pair it with. Maybe this, the warp. Oh, is it warped? No, it's crimson, isn't it? There, nether warp block. Okay, let's gradient into a nether warp block. Yeah, that's not bad. I'm not mad at that. Not mad at all. Okay, and then this one, I think we have a lot more opportunities to gradient with. Oh, I don't want to open it. And transition it. just a little bit. And from the shulker box, let's go with wool. And now it's more of a pale red. Okay, more of a pale red. And then we can go from that into, we want it to go into orange. So what is the best? If we go into a pale red, maybe, and then, okay, let's go into a pale red. Let's start with that. So let's go concrete powder and then terracotta, which I think should be a pretty smooth transition. And then from terracotta, I think into mangrove wood. Yeah, mangrove wood planks. And then into stripped mangrove wood. And now somehow we have to make this pale red go into that. That's going to be difficult. Into terracotta. Okay, let's try terracotta. And then into stripped acacia. Okay, that's good. Terracotta was needed for a middle gradient. Okay, and now we're basically in the orange territory. Let me extend this a little bit more. And now we move on to this, which I think we can move into acacia planks. And then from acacia planks, where can we move from acacia planks? Red sand. Did I even put red sand in here? I don't think I did. Yeah, we'll go from acacia planks into red sand or red sandstone. I think they'd both work the same. Okay, into red sand, and now from red sand, I think we can move into wool or concrete powder into wool. Okay, concrete powder into wool, and then into concrete. Okay, that is our transition from red to orange, and I think that gradient looks pretty well. I think it works well. The only thing that's a bit of an issue is this purpley kind of section, which now I'm realizing you could have probably gone straight from the like these two terracottas, and that would have worked fine and cut out this whole middle bit. But I still like it. I still enjoy the gradient down. I think you could even go further and go into some yellow, because you could just experiment with maybe some of the pumpkins or shroom lights. Be a little bit more difficult, but I think you could transition into it quite well. But otherwise, I'm quite happy with that gradient. So we've done 3 gradients, and I like them all. I think we should try and make a little bit of a build out of it. I think we should. Maybe I'll do a brand new gradient. I'm not sure. Alright, let me try and make a little bit of a build with a gradient and make it a bit more simple than the ones we've done here. I'll show you in a sec. Alright, so there you have it. We built that. So it was completely unplanned on the fly, and I made use of some of the gradients. It may not look like it because I have put a cutout in the middle, just because it looked too blocky, but you can see how it kind of goes up, and you can kind of assume that the gradient would continue up, or, well, you did see it, so it makes sense. But yeah, that's what I built on the fly, just using some gradients, and I went for a simpler gradient, which was the orange into aqua, and I say this is a lot simpler just because we have copper. Copper is probably one of the most helpful blocks that Minecraft has added for gradients, just because, you know, you have all of the weathered statuses of it, which definitely help quite a lot, and that's what I really used for the build. But yeah, that's basically how you could use gradients. This again was very simple on the fly, unplanned build. I didn't really know what I was doing. I did actually refer back to this gradient that I had done in order to continue this, which it did. It was really helpful, which was great. But yeah, that's how gradients can really be used for builds. And I don't know, I had a bit of fun playing around with some of the gradients. I'm glad I made this whole chart of all the Minecraft blocks just because I think it's it's going to be very helpful for future builds. I'm fairly sure, which is great. But yeah, so that's how you can use gradients. You can use it obviously in smaller sessions. So I think with some of these, you can probably cut out like this bit of prismarine, maybe go straight into like the diamond ore and stone. I'm sure you can cut out little bits in it, so it's a little bit less blocks. But yeah, that's basically all about gradients, and I hope you had fun playing around with some of the gradients with me. I had some fun. I'm learning some more things, which is going to be great, and I've actually got another build that I haven't done yet. I have not done yet, but I have scheduled to do it or planned to do it. And yeah, that's going to be really utilizing some gradients. And I'm excited to show you guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!